Well, hello again. I'm Ed Wolfe, your Kitsap County Commissioner from Central Kitsap. You may remember during my last Commissioner's Corner, we talked about services that the county provides, and we specifically met with the prosecutor and talked about his world and the prosecution world, and we met certainly with, we talked about the new courthouse, had a presentation on that. Today we're going to talk about something a little different. We're going to talk about county services as it relates to community partnerships. We need those partnerships in this county. Stay with me. I think you're going to enjoy this. I'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back to my Commissioner's Corner. I have with me today Russ Shiplet, who is the Executive Director of the Kitsap Building Association. You're going to hear more about the Building Association and why that's important with regard to community and our county government. What's the partnership? I use that word very loosely. How do we work together with organizations like stakeholders like Kitsap Building Association? Russ, nice to have you here.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here, Commissioner. Appreciate the invitation.
You bet. Today, and we're in your building today here off of...
Yeah, we're off Auto Center Way.
Yeah, and you've been in this building for how long? You haven't been here that long, but how many?
No, 1991.
1991. It's a beautiful building. Let me start by asking you, because I'm talking about today about community partnerships, the county partnerships with various stakeholders, your KBA being one of them. Right. Tell me, who are you and what do you do?
Sure. Well, Kitsap Building Association's been around since 1955, so actually this summer we're going to be celebrating 65 years. And when we originally started, we were Master Builders Association of Kitsap County, and then it became Home Builders Association, and then 2016 we became the Kitsap Building Association, because that name better incorporates all the different types of buildings that our members do.
Yeah. Other than builders, what type of membership do you have?
So we have builders, we have land developers, we have remodelers, but then we have anybody that's really associated with home building process. We have realtors, we have lenders, we have electricians, plumbers, just about the gamut. We have 320 members in the association. So we really represent the width and the depth of Kitsap County.
So these 320 members are not just builders, but they're plumbers and they're electricians and they're sales and many other things, correct?
Exactly right.
So what, I thought for years, and I've known your organization when it was HBA, and I'll probably get confused and say Home Builders Association, but tell me, what is the primary goal of KBA today? If you can just synthesize that into one goal.
Sure. Well, it's community involvement, continuing to strengthen our community involvement and working with partners, with the county and the city jurisdictions, and those resources that are out there to help try to provide affordable, attainable housing.
Okay. And we hear, or I hear frequently, that the KBA, you're the boots on the ground. What does that mean to the public, if you wouldn't mind explaining that?
I think that's a great way to capture who we are, and that is that we are the builders. We represent that part of the industry that's putting the homes up, scraping the ground to get them cleaned up and get ready to go, putting the homes up, and then getting families into them. So when we're boots on the ground, we're working with the inspectors every day. We're working with the county and the
These are our great county inspectors?
Exactly, the great county inspectors that you all have got.
Good.
And city jurisdiction officials and so forth, to be able to get that building built safe and secure where a family can move into it.
Thank you. So since I'm putting words in your mouth, tell me about, or tell the public about trades in motion. To me, this is it's really a change in the way we operate in this county with development and building.
Right. Trades in Motion is part of a three-pronged approach to workforce development that we're taking on. Trades in Motion is just one of those. But Trades in Motion is we invite high school students to come to a job site for an entire week. And we rotate them up into groups, and those high school students will be with a framer one day, and then they'll be with an electrician and a plumber and a painter, or HVAC installer, just about the gamut of building a home. And so we have them for the entire day, Monday through Friday. We provide them with lunch, and we provide them even better still with an education about what it takes to build a home.
Is Bob Disney involved in that? Has he been?
Yeah, Bob has been very instrumental in that, and this last year This last summer we did it at one of his developments in Hansville. This year we're looking at doing it at two separate developments that are going up, one in South Kitsap, another one up in North Kitsap, so we can double the amount of students that we bring through that program.
So you will expand this Trades in Motion program, correct?
That's exactly right. Yeah.
And I think that it's important for our listeners, our community, to understand that I believe everyone doesn't have to go to college. Everyone doesn't have to get a accounting degree or a law degree or a bachelor's degree. This is another way of giving jobs in our community, providing jobs in our community that doesn't have to be college educated.
No, that's exactly right. And our workforce development is all aimed at providing internships and opportunities to be able to learn about the construction trades without having to go through any type of a college course. Now, of course, if they want to do that, we give them the skill sets they need, and then if we want to go on to construction management or project management, of course, we're in full support of that as well.
And the Trades in Motion almost seems like it would be could be an internship for someone that would like to get in the business. Is that
That's exactly right. We have a builder grant program, and that's targeted 18 to 24-year-olds that actually want to enter into an internship.
Okay.
And so we have members that will provide 6-week internships, and the KBA helps to fund that.
I'm going to close this portion of the interview with a softball question. I talked about community partnerships. That's the basis of this discussion today. What's the relationship, put you on the spot, what's the relationship with KBA and the county? Is it a good relationship? Is it mediocre? Is it warming up? What's the relationship today? And why is it important if it is?
Sure. I've been part of the KBA for the last 2 years. I've been the executive officer, and I feel it's stronger than it probably ever has been. I know I've been told that in the past, that the relationship between the county and KBA is really improving each and every day. And that has to do with the fact that the county is willing to listen to what our concerns are, and the KBA is willing to take a correct approach to being able to talk about the problems that we're working with. It is vital. It is absolutely vital that we have strong working relationships with the county and each one of the jurisdictions.
Because it hasn't always been that way.
No, it's been
The working relationship between the county and other stakeholders and KBA.
right. That's exactly right. That's true. It has been tenacious at times, but I would tell you that we feel strongly, we feel like we're in the best place we've ever been with regard to our relationships with the county.
Good. It's good to hear as a county commissioner. If I have time, I'll ask one more question, and that is, what is KBA's biggest growth challenge, largest growth challenge for the next 5 years?
Available land. Having enough land to be able to build. Obviously, we're going to have to upzone, and we're going to have to build vertical rather than horizontal. And so as we continue to look at the Growth Management Act and the urban growth areas within the county, we're having to, as builders, developers, determine where is it that we can do that? Where can we meet that growth?
That issue came up last night by someone who testified before the Board of County Commissioners. Availability, land, no land, not available, not available. I'm not sure what we're going to do about that. Maybe we can discuss that another time.
Right, exactly right.
Yeah.
But I think it's something that we need to be able to solve together.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll continue working together. Russ, thanks for joining me.
Absolutely.
And look forward to seeing you in the future and continue to build on this relationship that, at least for the last 5, 6, 7 years, I think we've built a nice relationship with KBA and want it to grow and prosper.
Well, we certainly appreciate
For
that
the community
relationship.
partnership.
Absolutely.
Good. Thanks, Russ.
You bet.
Be back shortly. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be back with more of community partnership and what we do in this county with regard to our services, specifically related to the Department of Community Development. Yes, that means permitting, that means long-term planning, and there are many people that are probably watching this saying, I don't want to miss this one. Welcome back to BCAT, Commissioner's Corner. I'm still Ed Wolfe. Today we've been talking about growth and development in Kitsap County, certainly how we protect our environment and our natural resources. We'll get into that. But I've got someone special today to talk about this growth and development, someone who's responsible for permitting in the county, someone who's responsible for long-term planning, and that would be Jeff Rimack, the new sheriff in town. The new sheriff in town has been here about a year, or at least in this position. You've been in the county for a long time, but you're going to tell us about that. Who are you and what do you do today and what have you done in the past?
So a little bit of my history with Kitsap County. Been with Kitsap County almost 20 years. This August I'll have been here 20. Started out in public works, worked in both stormwater and wastewater before transitioning over to DCD. Started as a stormwater plan reviewer and code reviewer. and went ahead and transitioned into construction
Okay.
inspection.
Okay.
Mainly because of my experience with the Seabees. I also have 24 years with the Navy Seabees as doing
And what did you
construction
do with the
inspection.
Seabees in the Navy?
So with the Seabees, it's
still in the Navy.
I'm still in the Navy, so I'm in the Navy Reserve.
Yeah.
Did a lot of project management and a lot of leadership associated with that.
Mm-hmm.
Had a crew of about 63 people that I led prior to coming to DCD,
Mm-hmm.
still leading actively in the Reserve side. But the confluence between what the Seabees do as a construction battalion as well as DCD, they really matched well. So the program leadership and leadership skills that I use in the Navy transition very well to coming into DCD.
Fantastic. So Jeff, if you would, as the Director of Department of Community Development, and don't use DCD speak, but what do you actually do as a director?
Okay, so as a director, my goal is to ensure the department is working to collaboratively build relationships with the community and help them reach their dreams or their
Like KBA.
projects. Like KBA. So we work with KBA quite a bit. And the real goal is for us to define what it is when it comes to the code that's supposed to be done, but work collaboratively to help people be successful and move forward in that aspect.
Good answer. What what is DCD's core mission? Core mission.
So one of DCD's core missions is to help build sustainable long-term communities. At the same time, it's also to go ahead and really help people be successful in what they're doing. We offer a number of services to do that, whether you're building a large-scale hospital or whether you want to build your single-family residence.
Talk about some of the services, if you will.
Okay, so some of the services we have vertical construction. That's like when you come to build your home. So that's the building permits and your fire services, as well as horizontal construction. So that's your land use and your land development. So if you're going to have, let's say, a plat for new homes, that'd be the infrastructure associated with that.
So you, with regard to this construction, your department has to give approval for Franciscan to open end of this year. Is that correct?
Yes, we do.
And what does that call? Certificate of?
A certificate of occupancy.
They're going to get it, aren't they?
Yeah, they'll get it.
Okay.
We've been working with them hand in hand.
Good,
so we're
good.
on point.
I know it's been a very good working relationship between the hospital, not staff necessarily, but their workers on the ground and our inspectors and you. And I know you're out there quite a bit too. But anyway, that's a hospital.
Yeah.
Core mission.
Core mission. We also do long-range planning. So when we look at it, long-range planning incorporates the comprehensive plan and the future look as
What's
to
the
where.
comprehensive plan?
The comprehensive plan is the overall plan for the county as to how growth and development will occur throughout the county.
Okay.
For the long range, looking at out to things like 2050 when we look at it, forecasting for growth.
Let's talk about, briefly talk about numbers, dollars and people.
Okay.
How many, what do they call, full-time equivalent, how many people do you have working for you in the Department of Community Development?
DCD has just under 80 people working for them, and out of the 80 people, less than 8% of our employees actually live outside of Kitsap County. So the people who work for DCD really live in the community and they love to be here, and that's part of the reason they're here. Okay. So it really assists when we're looking at building those sustainable communities in the future and protecting our environment. They have a vested interest in that. And
you have your leadership executive team, I know you have 2 assistant directors, and then how many directors are below them?
So I do have 2 assistant directors. One is over the building and fire services. He's the chief building official. That's a position that we're just now bringing on someone new into that.
Okay.
And he'll be starting on March 30th, as well as an assistant director over long range planning and our engineering division. Okay. And each one of those, I believe, have about 4 managers that work for them.
If I'm sitting out at home or sitting out in the public at home watching this, what are your goals and what's your vision for the next year with regard to DCD? What changes can the public expect from DCD, if any? So one of the big changes that I'm looking at for DCD is to be more customer service oriented when it comes to the ability to apply for a permit. We went ahead and went electronic last year, which made it better for customers because they could be at home and they could submit without having to drive into the office. But there were some difficulties in terms of the technology associated with it. So right now we're looking at a portal that's coming up that will go ahead and make it easier for them to submit, more of a TurboTax style
What do you mean by portal?
So when they submit a permit, it comes in through an electronic portal into our permitting system. Also, we're looking at virtual inspections. So we look at a lot of the inspections we do, and sometimes there's 1 or 2 things that need to be corrected. But do we send an inspector to drive all the way out to Hansville to go ahead and look at an inspection, take an hour to get there, when it's something that we could use technology potentially to go ahead and review from the office? with Skype and video calls and everything that occurs, we're looking at that technology to move forward.
Fantastic. So getting into the new era,
Yes.
the new decade. Very good. This whole segment has been, Commissioner's Corner has been about community partnerships. Department of Community Development is a major part of this whole concept of community partnerships. And many people have heard for the past 6 years since I've been in this position, we have to balance development in our county. We have to balance this development because the migration is coming over from Seattle and other parts. Balance that development with protecting our natural resources. How does DCD play in that arena?
So DCD really plays into that arena that when a project comes in, we review and look at the natural resources that are associated or surrounding a project that come in. The codes that have been implemented are here to protect the natural resources and ensure a balance between what's constructed as well as the ability for the natural resource to continue to flourish. So we really look at those when they come in to ensure we're not impacting them in a negative manner.
Thanks, Jeff. When I drive around Silverdale, as many of us do frequently, I see all of this building. I see a new hospital that hopefully will start taking patients in November of this year, of 2020. I see CK High School and middle school. I see development. What's on the radar, at least in Central Kitsap, or talk about other parts of the county, for DCD?
So one of the big projects that I like to speak about that I feel has a lot of impact due to the large number of veterans. We have over 37,000 veterans in Kitsap County. And recently,
we're both veterans.
We're both veterans. Yeah. And just in November, we went ahead and opened up the new VA clinic that's actually located in Silverdale. It has a larger capacity than the Bremerton clinic that was previously opened. It takes about 1,600 more people, servicing
up to 6,000. Yep. Up to 6,000.
Up to 6,000.
As opposed to 4,000 something.
Yep, that's 4,000 that we had at the Bremerton.
Yeah.
It's a $9.7 million facility.
Yeah.
It's about 150,000 square feet. And it really is a change to the better for the veterans. Their ability to get services without having to drive to Seattle or Tacoma. Additionally, we recently had the Central Kitsap Middle School and High School that was completed. It's a 313,000 square foot facility. It's 3 stories, brand new, with some of the newest in the technical arts when it comes in. Has flight trainers, CNC machine associated with it for students to learn. And then on top of that, also all of the tennis courts as well as the athletic fields were redone. Just recently, they've played their first football game on there.
In cooperation and collaboration with the county.
Yes.
We're doing that together with CK.
Yeah. So that was the big thing. It was a real effort to get it done because we have to work, obviously, keep the school open at the same time and ensure that students have somewhere to go. So just this last year, this school year is the first time we've been open.
It's an unbelievable facility, both of the facilities. And I'd like to get a plug in there for CK and what they're doing. Tomorrow, all 3 county commissioners will be there for a memorandum of understanding between Horizon Air, Alaska, Horizon Air, and the CK School District and their joint aerospace program. It's spectacular, opening up opportunities for our kids here in the county with a large international airline company. Pretty excited about that. So my thought would be, if we could do this, let's go out and take a look at some of these different projects that are pending in Central Kitsap, like the VA or like the hospital. Let's go out and take a look at some of them. Do you have some thoughts on that?
Certainly. I have a few different places we could go with real eyes to see.
Right. Let's do that.
All right.
Welcome back to Commissioner's Corner. I, again, am Ed Wolfe. With me is Jeff Rimack, the Director of Department of Community Development. If you haven't figured this out yet, this is an active construction site at Franciscan Hospital, looking behind me. We anticipate they'll take their first patient in November of this year, of 2020. So I just want to point out to those of you at home, it's March 10th and it's cold out here. I don't feel springtime today. Jeff, what's happening here? You're the chief official for Department of Community Development. What's going on here?
So it's a 245 bed unit. It's actually for regional care as well as trauma incident care. There's a cancer care center associated with it. It's actually not just for Kitsap, it'll be for both Mason and Jefferson as well. And it's a really great boon to our facility.
And Clallam also.
Clallam is also, yes. Yeah. As well as it will have an air facility on top for life flight.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. I'm looking around, seeing nothing but beautiful mountains, and I suspect that many people that will be staying in this this hospital will have that very same view. Unbelievable, unbelievable. But it is cold out here. We've got another project we're going to go to have you take a look at the community partnership between the county and different entities in the community, both public and private. So welcome back to Commissioner's Corner. I'm Ed Wolfe, and with me is Jeff Rimack, the Director of the Department of Community Development. This is the Woodbridge development off of Silverdale Way. Yes, it's still cold out here, and yes, it is March 10th, and we all have coats on. I wish I had a hat, but I don't. So Jeff, can you tell us, this is the community partnership that I've been talking about this whole BCAT session, and this is part of the whole partnership, working together with the private industry, working together with the stakeholders. What is Woodbridge Way, and how many units are here? Tell the public a little bit about it.
Okay. So Woodbridge is a 551 home, multifamily, as well as single family residence development.
Yeah.
Has 6 phases when we're looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
We're just getting ready to go into phase 3.
Mm-hmm.
So what you see behind you is actually phase 2. And it's pretty much sold out, and they're moving on to phase 3 for that entirety of the grown-up. There's some right-of-way improvements that are coming along with doing this. Yeah. Connection between Silverdale Way and then up to Ridgetop, as well as some improvements down on the street for pedestrian access and some signalization with the state highway for pedestrians.
So Jeff, for the public and for me actually, your inspectors come out here. Mm-hmm. What are they doing when they come out here?
So when they come out, they're coming out to look at the overall construction to ensure that it meets the code. Yeah. Our goal is life safety for someone when they purchase a home. Yeah. We want to make sure the home is built to code and they'll be there for a long time to come and it's safe. So we look at things like the foundation, the framing, to make sure that it's properly built for gravity load and earthquake protection when it comes time, as well as some of your things that go into it like your gas. Make sure the gas doesn't have a leak. We don't want something leaking in the wall that could be problematic in the future.
It's life safety.
Life safety is the big goal.
Yeah, and I noticed as we were driving up here, there are dog parks, there are playground parks. It's actually a pretty nice development. I haven't been up here before, pretty nice development.
Yeah, this development actually does have some dog parks, some parks for amenities for the kids inside, as well as some trail connection amenities with Clear Creek Trail down the way and some open space. Yeah. So that's something that we actually go ahead and we condition in when we develop something like this, because it is that community atmosphere that we're trying to drive.
Yeah. I want to thank you for joining me today for my Commissioner's Corner. It's been a wonderful day. It is a little cold out here, but I want you all to understand and try to understand that with this community partnership that I've been talking about, not just with the Kitsap Builders Association, but also with the different developers, we have to work together for life safety reasons. Community partnership, community partnership. Why is this important today? One of the reasons is that if you think about it, the migration coming over from Seattle has hit us. And they're here, they're coming over, not just from Seattle, but from other parts of the state and the county or the country. They're coming over here because of the value of housing and because of the quality of our lives, many of the quality that we brought us here today to live here. So thanks for being with me. Partnership, we work together, and look forward to seeing you next time on Commissioner's Corner.